Hey guys, Morgan's Maintenance. Today's tour review is going to be a laser by Dovoh. I had previously tried out one of their 3-plane lasers. It was their high brightness professional laser. Really like that. Well, they asked me if they could send me this one out, and I said yes because it has some features on it that none of my other lasers have. You know, I've tried out several 3-plane lasers in the last, year or so of different ones. My one that I normally run all the time is my Bosch. I keep it in my Milwaukee pack out, as you can see here. This one stays in my truck. It is the GLL3-330CG. Bought this in 2019. This one still runs you $500. Now, it runs off their 12-volt platform. Works really well. I absolutely like it, and I like the accessories that came with it. That's the main thing that I like about it. And it's a 3-plane laser. And I get questions all the time about, I need a laser, what laser should I get? And my recommendation usually has always been, get you a name brand that you know for sure is something that they've been in the laser game for a long time. Bosch has been making lasers for a long time. I've never had a problem with Bosch lasers. And then I always say, get you a 3-plane laser. Don't buy a cross line. Don't buy this or that, because this will do absolutely everything you need it to do. You can square things with it, plumb things with it, level things with it. You get the 360 degrees all the way around. It just will absolutely do everything that you need it to do. Well, now whenever I recommend lasers, I typically tell people I've used a bunch of different brands, and to be honest with you, some of these that maybe you've not heard of before, they're extremely good as well. I've had zero issues using Dovoh or Sigmund or all the other ones, and this one has some features on it that even my Bosch does not have, and some of the accessories are even better than the Bosch accessories. So this one is the Dovoh P4-360G. It is a 4-plane laser, so you have your standard 3 like we've talked about in many other videos, but this one also has one on the bottom, and I will explain to you why that is super handy and super nice. And this is going to run you $299 for this one. Now you're going to say that's expensive, and it is, but again, it's $500 for the Bosch. This one also has a $30 off coupon right now. They also do have a P4-360G that has all the same 4 planes. I don't know what the difference. I think it might not be considered as bright. I don't have that one, so I don't know. And I know it doesn't come with like a hard case like this and some of your accessories. And it's only $179 for with a $30 off coupon. So that's a little bit cheaper version if all you really are looking for is just the laser and you don't need maybe some of the accessories and things like that. So in this video, I'm going to show you what you get in the box, and then I'm also going to talk about why you would want to use a 4-plane laser, why that might be handy for you, and then I'll compare it to my Bosch as well and show you why this one might be a little bit better option for several people out there. So let's go ahead and jump into what you get in the box. So starting out with what you get in the box, first of all, you get this case. It is a plastic case, so it's like a hard plastic. It's not super thick. It's got a little bit of bounce to it, but it's enough in there to protect your laser. It comes with these latches that are a push and pull, so to pull them open, there's a little clip under here that you pull and then it lifts up, so it doesn't really like unlatch unless you get your finger up in there and kind of squeeze that together and then lift that up. So that's what that works. And then as far as shutting it, they just latch back and it snaps into place. You open this up, you can see that the case is filled with foam on the top and on the bottom. So as far as everything has its place, it should be super protected. And then within that, of course, you are going to get the 4-plane laser itself. That's the main thing that you're going to get with that. It also comes with multiple ways, again, that you can charge this. So it comes with a charging block that you can plug up USB-C along with the cable here, and then you can take your batteries and put them into this unit here. Let's see, I had it backwards. Plug that up, charge it that way. So that's one way that you can charge it. And they do also give you a wall block as well. But you can also directly charge it by plugging up the USB-C underneath of here. And it's kind of hard to get your fingers in there, but you can get it in there. And you can plug it up USB-C right here as well. Charge the battery that's within the unit using the USB-C cord. And you can also use the unit while having it plugged up. So if your batteries are bad or you don't have any that are charged, you can just plug this thing up and leave it sitting up all day long and use it in that way. That's a big key to me with a laser of this kind, because that's the one thing that worries me about buying lasers that aren't like a battery platform, Bosch, Milwaukee, whatever, is that how long am I going to be able to get these 5 years down the road, am I going to be able to get a replacement? Who knows? But then again, who's to say that you're going to get a Bosch replacement 5-6 years down the road either? They might change batteries at some point in time, but typically you can still always find someone that's making generics or something like that of those, or you can get those batteries, repaired or whatever it might be. So again, you might be able to do that with these, but that's the one worry to me about any kind of tool that takes a battery that's not on a tool platform in some way. But again, you get the laser, you get the wall block, the charging cable. Also, you can charge the batteries in this way. So really, you could charge one battery on that and then also charge your other one inside the unit. So you get 2 batteries that come with it. The batteries are 7.4 volt, 2600 milliamp hour batteries as well. So again, you get 2 of those. They insert into the unit just by pulling down this and then sliding that in. And then that's all you got to do. It snaps right into place. So super easy. Another thing that I think is pretty nice is also this little attachment, or this accessory here. It's not an attachment. It's just a little, device that you can lift your level up and down from the ground. And really, this would be useful to me with any level, even my Bosch one, because there's certain times where I just need to get just a little bit taller than what my top laser is. So I really like this accessory, but I think it comes in even more handy with the 4-plane laser, and I'll show you that in just a little while as well. So you do get this accessory. Also, you get a target card. It's okay. It's definitely not as good as the Milwaukee target cards that I have a review for, but I mean, it comes with one. It's better than not getting one, so you do have that as well. You do also get a remote control where you can control the horizontal and vertical lines. So if you've got it set up somewhere and you've got all the lines on and then you need to turn one off so that you can do that, you can also do that with this remote control as well. I'll show you that in a little bit. Also, you do get some green laser glasses as well, so you can wear that to protect your eyes. Those are included. You get a tripod attachment that comes inside of it, so you can change from the bigger threads to that smaller threads. And then the last thing you get is this accessory right here, and this has some great features on it in comparison to even my Bosch one, which I've always said this is one of the main reasons why I like the Bosch, is because it comes with this accessory right here, because I use this on my drop ceilings all the time. You have this clamp here that allows you to grip onto ceiling grid and use it in that way. You also have the ability to take this that has some magnets, use that. You can hang it on the wall on a screw. It just gives you a lot of different adjustment, and it's got a lot of great features. But however, this one actually has more features than that of the Bosch, and I'll show you that as we get into describing the differences between the lasers. But essentially, that's what you get in the box. Quite a few accessories, decent case, form fitted with foam. Again, I think it's a good value. The accessories that you get are useful, in my opinion. Sometimes whenever you get a laser that isn't, again, like a big name brand of some kind or something like that, you end up getting kind of the accessories are where they're lacking. The laser always works great, but the accessories are what are lacking, and I feel like this one actually comes with pretty good accessories. So let me go ahead and cover, to me, what are the top 3 accessories that you would use. And again, I've got the lighting kind of changed in here. You might see shadows just so you can see the laser a little bit better to kind of show you some of these. So first of all, you're going to have that remote control. So what does it do? I can't turn the laser on and off with it. Again, it's just a H and a V. But if I turn my laser on, you can see I've got that bottom horizontal line on. If I press H, it's going to change it to the top horizontal line. That's this laser here. I press it again, it's going to turn on both of them. So now I got 2 horizontal lines. And again, I can do the same thing with vertical. I got 1 vertical line. I can press V again. I've got the other. Press V again. I've got both. And then if I hit them, it's going to turn it off on the next slide. So again, that's what their remote control does. So if you've got all your lines out and then you're needing to kind of remove some so you can see something a little bit better, to mark something or whatever it might be, again, that's what this would be useful for. The next accessory that I really like is this little platform here. And this would work well on any laser level, in my opinion, because there's just times where I need to basically barely raise it off of whatever my top line is. Well, this is going to allow me to put this on here. And again, you also can just turn H's and V on by doing it here. And if I press that horizontal button, the H, it's going to show my line. And then this is going to allow me to basically micro adjust up off of the ground and just get my laser just slightly up as I move it up there. and just gain a micro adjustment off of the floor. Again, that's something that most of the time you don't get that kind of accessory with laser levels. I really like that. And they're not necessarily like the most tough feeling accessories, but they work. You're not putting something that weighs 100 pounds on it. I think it's going to work well. And then the next accessory, again, and this is probably my favorite one of the bunch for a couple of reasons, is the main accessory that they have for attaching it. Again, you just put your level on right here. And this, again, if you look at my Bosch, it looks very familiar. Looks a lot like that one. A lot of the same functions in that. Again, I use this Bosch one all the time for ceiling grid. That's what this is for. So if I'm installing acoustical grid ceilings, you take your wall mode like this. You can put your level on that, and then you can start leveling off of that to get your ceiling grid all level everywhere that you need to. But that's all you can do with this Bosch one. It's basically made specifically for that task. There's not a lot else that you can clamp that on. It doesn't open real wide. Again, you got the magnets, the same features and everything else. But if you look at the Dovoh, I can do the same thing. I can still clamp onto ceiling grid just like I did just a minute ago with that Bosch. So I can clip onto it right there, start leveling out my ceiling. Works really well. But then if you also notice on the Dovoh, you also have 4 slots here, and it says here, press down to move. So I can press this, I can adjust to a different slot, and now I can widen that. And this will open and close to something up to 1.25 inches. But if I go even to that middle slot there, I've got a 3/4 board here. I can clamp onto that 3/4 board and use it like that. So super nice feature, because there's been times where I've wanted to clamp my Bosch one onto something else and I couldn't do that. So I really like that about it. So super nice. Again, it also has the same thing. It's got magnets. You can see here I'm sticking it on a door, a metal door, and I'm basically just showing you that you can level and move that up and down on the door. If maybe you're installing receptacles or whatever it is, you can make sure that it's level all throughout the room. And then again, you could stick it on scaffolding, anything metal that you got on the job site. It basically allows you to stick it to it, and then you've got that micro adjustment up and down to finally finalize wherever that spot is that you need to get. So I really like that. And then again, you can also just take and screw that onto the wall if you need to, and do the same thing if you don't have metal, and that sticks to this. This has that metal plate, and again, you just stick it on there, and that's how that works. So again, those are the 3 accessories that probably most people are going to use that you probably want to know more about. But now let's go ahead and jump into why 4-plane laser and how this compares to my Bosch. So again, the Dovoh cost you $299 versus my Bosch is $500. The Bosch is 3-plane, the Dovoh's 4-plane. You're getting more plane for less bucks, but do you need a 4-plane laser, I guess is the question you might be asking. And for some of you, the answer is going to be no. Odds are you may not ever need one, just depends on what you do, but some of you may need one quite often. So a 3-plane laser will do just about anything you need to do. Again, square, plumb, level, 360 degrees, all those things. I can turn this Bosch on. I can turn on all the lasers that I have. So I've got a vertical there, I've got another vertical, and I've got a horizontal. A lot of things I can do with that. Square, plumb, level, whatever I need to do, it's all there. Well, whenever I get into that 4th plane, what you need to think about is how often do I need to get something close to off the ground level, because maybe you level out floors. The closer you can get to the ground, the better. You turn on this second horizontal plane, you can see how far off the ground that is. The minimum distance off the floor that you can get with this level is a 1/2 inch, and that is extremely close. Versus if I turn on the Bosch, I'm at 5¼ inches if I turn off this top horizontal. So that's the Dovoh. That's the lowest I can get with that, and that's the lowest that I can get with the Bosch. So if I need to level out anywhere in between there, if that's part of my job, that's why you would want to look into getting a 4-plane laser. For instance, you can see here, I've got the Bosch and the Dovoh outside of, a shower pan, and the Dovoh is down below, where the shower pan, where I'm going to screw that in as far as leveling it, versus the Bosch is up above it. There's no way that I can get to that by using this Bosch, except for I can shoot my laser line up there and then go around with the tape measure and make marks and stuff like that. That's what I've always done in the past with this, and sometimes that's a big pain. But it's super nice now because I can take this Dovoh, which gets me at that 1/2 inch versus that 5¼ on the Bosch there, as you can see. I can now take it and put it on this platform, and then I can slowly adjust it up. I can leave it up there and get it to the point where my level is just kissing my shower pan exactly where I want it. I can now install that and keep it wherever I want it to be. So again, that's where that fourth plane comes into effect. If you do anything from a 1/2 inch to, it's 5 1/4 on my Bosch, but you can check your laser and see where that is. If there's been times where you've had to go around and take that level line with a tape measure, measure down and mark, you know what a pain that is. So that's why you might would want a 4-plane laser. What about, is this laser better? Is it brighter? Is it, more accurate? Is it all those things? Let me turn the lasers off. So I'm going to turn all of them off. Let's go through these. And again, I've got to cycle through all of them in order to get my Bosch one. As a matter of fact, I've actually even got to turn it off to turn it off. Versus I'm going to leave it on this horizontal. I'm going to hit it again. I'm going to leave it off right now. I'm going to turn on the Dovoh one over here. I'm going to put it on this top one so that it's closer to what the Bosch is. We'll zoom in here. Let me get zoomed in real close. And then let me show you the Bosch one. I'm going to turn it on. So again, is there much difference to you? In fact, to me, they look almost identical. I can't tell any difference. You can see the spacing between the two is pretty much identical. Again, I've used all these. I've used this Dovoh laser on my last job, 100%. Did all my framing with it, hung all my drywall with it, plumbed up all my studs, did my receptacles. Exactly the same. It was no issue to me. It was nothing different as far as compared to using my Bosch. So again, I've used Sigma, I've used Dovoh, I've used Lasgo. I've used a lot of different laser levels. And in the past, again, I would have always told people, for what you're using this for, you don't want to get something that you don't know anything about. But over time, just getting these tools in, and again, I'm not saying it because they're giving it to me for free. I honestly feel like these are really good lasers. And again, I use my Sigma laser all the time. Overall, I just think that it's a really good laser for the price with the accessories. Is it still expensive for a brand that's not Bosch, Milwaukee, all those things? Yes, but you cannot get a 4-plane right now in Bosch, Milwaukee, or all those. So this has extra features. The accessories are decent. The case is good. I just think overall it's a nice level. One other thing before we get to the outro is, I almost forgot this setting, is that my Bosch has pulse mode, and that might be something that's a big deal for people, because if you work outside, it's basically going to help you in places where you can't see the laser line. I got my lights back on now, so you might not be able to see that line that well. And you can use a line reader like this one that I have here. I've got the LR8. So then if I put it on pulse mode, you'll see that I can see that now on my line reader, and it's going to beep and tell me whenever I'm level. So that's a very useful feature if you have that. Well, the Dovoh also has it as well. Let me turn the Bosch off. You can see here if I turn on the PV, that's pulse mode. So I'm going to turn on the laser. I'm going to turn it on pulse mode. And I'm going to turn on all the lasers that I can, all 4 of them. And again, you might not can see them. I've got this turned on. Every other laser, no matter if it was Bosch, the other Dovoh one, the Sigma, all those worked with my Bosch line reader. But for whatever reason, this one does not. You can maybe see it, like every now and then I'll get something like that's beeping now, as if it is on the vertical. But if I go to just the horizontal over here, it's not reading on that one. And then if I go to the other vertical one, let me turn it on. It's not reading on that one. Did a little bit. So it's real spotty. But again, I don't know if that's because it's my Bosch line reader or because there's an issue with the laser level. I don't have any other one to test it on. I'm sure Dovoh probably sells one. I have had instances with the red ones in the past where it had to work with that specific laser. It's just normally my green one has worked with other ones, but that's not to say it's supposed to work with this one. So again, that's just an iffy thing for you to take in consideration. I wanted to make sure that I pointed that out before we close the video. So yeah, guys, that's the Dovoh P4-360G. I mean, I'm super impressed by this. Again, is it pricey for not being a Bosch, not being a Milwaukee, not being a whatever? Yes, but I have been using this for the last couple weeks. I see zero difference in the quality of it. If not, it might even be a little bit brighter than my Bosch. The only thing that I, again, worry about is this right here, is how long will I be able to get these? But again, you can also plug it up and use it in that case as well if you can't get a battery sometime down the road, because that's the only thing about a brand that you don't normally have batteries that you can go buy at your box stores and things like that, is you have to worry about, can I get these rebuilt? Can I buy new ones all the time? How's that going to work out? How long are these going to last? So that's just one thing to keep in consideration. But again, I think this is a really good laser. And if it's a little bit too pricey for you and you still are looking into getting a 4-plane laser, they also have a cheaper option as well, so you can check that one out. So let me know in the comments below what you guys think. Again, let me know if you think a 4-plane laser would be more beneficial to you than a 3-plane. I guess it just really depends on how often you are going to use this bottom plane. But let me know in the comments below what you think about it. As always, I hope that this video was useful, helps you make the right decision on whether or not this tool or some other tool is the right tool for you. That's the goal behind all my videos. But as always, stay safe, have a blessed day. See you on the next video.